about to go live. What's going on? You already know it's your boy Joe back at it again. Codingphase.com. We are live right now on YouTube, TikTok, the whole shebang, man. We are live. What's going on? Talk to me. So today we're gonna go in and we're gonna start with searching for job opportunities within codingphase.com. By the way, for anybody that's watching this and doesn't know, on codingphase.com we basically have all of the different type of jobs that are available. We go in, take our time to look for job opportunities for you guys, and we make sure we list it here. Okay, now we're gonna get into this right now. Let me fix my window. Okay, my window's a little bit crazy right now. So let me see. There you go. All right, so we are live. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to everybody that's in here. Let me see if anybody pops up in the chat. Make sure if you pop up in the live stream, leave a message. Show me some love so I could give you guys a shout out. And that way we know that you was here. Okay, so let me see who's in here. We got Deborah. How you doing, Deborah? Hopefully everything is good in Jamaica. Okay, please leave this live up so I can catch up on the replay. Okay, it's all right. Don't worry. It's going to be live. Okay, it's going to be there. Code by DJ says, make sure y'all press the like button when y'all walk through the door. Word. Show some love to your boy. Okay, definitely come through and show some love. So yeah, man, like I said, today we're going to be looking for job opportunities. We also going to talk about, any questions and topics that you guys might have. If you are somebody who's trying to find a job and maybe you're struggling right now, hey, let me help you out. Let me give you some tips. This is what I've been doing for the last, 8+ years. I mean, we got 9 years in this channel on YouTube, and we've helped thousands of people get into the game. So definitely, come in and leave your questions and whatever concerns you might have. Let me help you out. Why not? So let me see. In here it says, hey, I'm hyped for these jobs. Lauren says, Rainier Luna. Shout out to Rainier Luna, one of the students from codingphase.com. Recently got hired as an email developer. Congratulations to you, my guy. Keep doing your thing, okay? We got Mascud Muse from London, currently working as an Android developer at Workspace. Nice. Very good, very good, very good. All right, cool. So let's go into it. All right, so let me go. Why I keep putting the wrong window? Let me go to the right window. Okay, so here we go. All right, so these are the jobs. We're going to start with codingphase.com, right? These are jobs that have been verified by us. That are real jobs. Sometimes when you apply to some of these job boards, they'll be like, ghost jobs or jobs that, they don't even respond. Guess what? These jobs are jobs that we actually have tested and have gotten responses. So we go and do the work so you don't have to. So when you come in and you apply to the jobs, you know for sure, okay, this is a real company. Okay, so in here we have the Florida Department Highway Safety Motor Vehicles, right? This is in Florida. $70,000. Okay, web manager. This is what we will consider a web administrator position. All right, this is basically, at the end of the day, look at this, right? Knowledge of web security, firewalls, right? So that's just basic stuff, right? Proficiency in WordPress, Adobe Creative Suite, FileZilla. So they're probably using FTP to be able to go in and update the website. Okay, experience in website development, including HTML, CSS. Right, so this is when you go in, you be like, yo, bro, they're asking for HTML, CSS. I got that. Okay, so yeah, the Florida, what's the name of this thing? Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles has a position here, and again, it's a government job, right? So definitely look out for that if you are in Florida. And definitely apply, right? $70,000, not bad starting position, right? These are entry-level positions. These are positions that you can get with just the basics. Okay, another one we have right here, Pat Nanny's Boutique. This is Melbourne, Florida, $21 to $25 an hour. Again, a lot of these jobs are entry-level positions. Always remember, it's not where you start. is where you end up at. Okay, there's a lot of people that right now have zero experience, have never worked anywhere. Opportunities like this come to you, take it, and then from there continue to grow. 6 months later, you got a bigger job. Now you're making $50 an hour, $60 an hour. Trust me. Okay, this is how it works. You got to start from somewhere. You can't expect to start at $100-something-thousand, especially when you're switching careers. All right. Let's see what else we have in here. Okay, so we have this one. This is pretty much just managing their content, right? This is an e-commerce platform. Don't get scared with the word of digital content creator. Your job really just means that you're gonna be managing an online store. You're gonna be helping them out with like the product titles, maybe contribute to some content marketing as far as the email development. So if you are an email developer or you are a web administrator, guess what? These are the positions for you. Okay, we also have a full stack position. Okay, let's look at this one. This is in Benda Infotech. Okay, this is one of the jobs. Let's go to the next one. We have email marketing specialist. So this is email marketing specialist at Collision Technologies. Okay, again, this is another one. Reading through here again, they're looking for somebody who knows about email development, right? Email marketing, email marketing platforms like Klaviyo, OmniSend, MailChimp, as well as CMS backend, right? So there's always going to be a wish list, but again, this is your duties, right? So troubleshooting technical issues related to HTML templates, list segmentation, email execution, right? Everything that we cover on codingphase.com as an email developer. This is really what the job consists of. Always understand that don't get scared about the titles. Every company has different titles, different titles for different industries. Okay, a company might call this, let's say you work at an agency, HTML email developer. Another company might call it email marketing specialist. Another company might call this CRM specialist, right? Always look at the description, and this is what we do. We take our time to look at the type of job and the description of it, and then from there we tell you, okay, this is what this position is, right? For anybody that's wondering, how do you get access to all of these jobs in this job list and have this verified jobs list, is very simple. All you have to do is click on the link in the description, go to codingphase.com. Right now we have a great deal. This is for Black Friday this whole month. You come in, it's basically $1 a day. You basically paying just $30, okay? $30, and that's it. And we give you access to all of the things that that we basically give you guys on Coding Phase. We have the courses, we have the career paths, right? We have the job board, the resume builder, guaranteed to get through the ATS bots. We spend a lot of time and a lot of money to test out all of the major platforms from Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Dice.com. We went in, we listed positions in there, and we tested our own resume. So from there, we could go in and make sure that, okay, what's the best template? What's the best format to make sure that when you fill out a resume, right, that ATS bot does not filter out any type of keywords that you might have put on that resume. So we make sure that we go in and we do that testing for you. Okay, so you're basically getting everything within one platform. The career paths, we're not focusing on teaching you how to code. We're focusing on specific jobs. Okay, things like web administrator, right? Email marketing developer, or HTML email developer, email marketing specialist, Shopify developer, things like webmaster. The goal here is to get you in the industry. The goal here is not just to teach you how to code, right? Later on, we're going to look at a video, which is a very sad video in a sense, because people are going to college and really, going to college and just getting a degree, it doesn't really mean what you think it means, right? It's not a guarantee that you're going to get a job just because you got a degree. Okay, you actually need to have experience. But the problem is that colleges and a lot of these programs that you see online, they don't prepare you for actually getting a job. They prepare you to learn how to code, right? It's like you coming to me. If you tell me, hey man, I want to come in and I want to become a number one author, right? On, let's say, New York Times, right? You come to me and say, hey Joe, I want to create a book. I want to be a number one seller on New York Times. And when I come in and I do that, I just start teaching you the ABCs. And you say, well, we're going to teach you ABCs and we're going to teach you what a sentence is, right? But they don't teach you the whole way, everything that you need to actually do to become a New York Times bestseller, right? It's the same concept that a lot of these boot camps and a lot of these online platforms and, you know, YouTubers, TikTokers, etc. This is what they do, right? Like their goal is to go in and just show you what you want to see, but not really have the responsibility of getting you results. Okay. So on Coding Phase, we do it different. We go in and make sure that we are focusing on things for specific jobs. Okay. We're not going to teach you more. We're not going to teach you less. Okay. It's for specific jobs so you could get your first job in the tech industry. All right. And again, it's positions that you don't need experience. Okay. That's why right now, if you see on Coding Phase, we teach full stack development and the courses are there, but that's not my main focus, right? My main focus is actually getting your first job. I can't get you a full stack developer position or a software engineer position without you having experience. There's no way around it. Right now, this is how it works. Okay. Companies that are paying 100, 150, 200,000, they want people with experience. That's just the facts. If I go in and I tell you, hey man, I got a course to teach you how to become a software engineer in 2025, but I don't show you how to get experience first, I'm doing you a disservice. Okay. This is why when you come to codingphase.com, we don't focus on the big titles, the big companies. We focus on what's going to get you in. Once you're in and you have experience, you have 2 to 3 months, 6 months, right? A year of experience. Now you could transition to the next role. But I can't get you to those top tier roles unless you have experience. So we have to go through this stage. Okay. This is basically back to how it used to be, 2011, 2012, 2015, the way how I started back in the days, which is you got to start somewhere. You got to build yourself up. Whatever you saw in the pandemic, people lying to you, giving you these dreams of, yeah, bro, you're going to be eating granola, right? You're going to be eating granola at Google if you go in and you take this one course. It's bullshit. Hey, man, you signed up to this bootcamp. It's only $15,000, right? Or you could sign up to it, and if you get a job, bro, just give us 17%. Those days are over. That shit is not happening. We're back to normal, okay? This is how the industry has always been, all right? The people that come in and graduate from college and have no experience, no internships, they don't get hired. This is why you see guys that have major degrees and major universities, and then you see them at T-Mobile, and you're like, yo, bro, but didn't you go to this university? Didn't you go to this college? Yeah, bro, this is the only job that I got. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens to people. Same thing for people that go to this random courses, just learning how to code. Learning how to code is too broad, okay? You have to have a plan, and you have to find a position that actually has, a high demand but low supply. Always remember this. You want to be the big fish in a small pond so people could point out and say, yo, that's the guy, right? Let's hire him because he's better than everybody. But if you go into a big ass pond and you're a little tiny fish and you're walking around like, hey guys, can I please get a job? You're not getting a job. Here's your lottery ticket. And wait your ass right there until we call your number, right? I don't like to live like that. I'm the type of person that I don't like to put my destiny in somebody else's hands, right? I like to take control of my own destiny and say, you know what? If I'm going to get a job, let's look at the jobs that's actually hiring people with my situation. I'm coming in with no degree, right? I have no experience. What type of jobs can I actually get with this? And this is what we focus on codingphase.com. Like I said, links in the description, links on the profile. You could check it out from there if you want. Okay, you don't believe me? You could go into everything that we have over here on, on codingphase.com. You can look at the success stories, okay? You can't fake success stories, all right? This is 8+ years helping people out, getting them into the game. So at the end of the day, if you want to come in and you want to get results, you go to codingphase.com. This is the only platform that focuses on jobs. Everybody else teaches how to code. Okay, we focus on getting specific jobs, and we give you the tools that you're gonna need. All right, so let's continue with this with the job board, right? So in here, let's see what else we have in here. We have that was Collision, that was in California. We have another one, website developer. This is in Houston, Texas. All right, so this was a position, website developer. There's 120, 130K thousand. Always remember this. All of the positions that go above $90,000, they're going to require experience. These are the type of jobs that you will get once you have 6 months to a year of experience. Okay, a lot of the stuff that we cover in here, as far as like a web administrator, Shopify developer, is the skills that you're going to have to learn to be able to get this position. Okay, they're focusing on, somebody who knows how to use Google Analytics, Tag Manager, right? Some integration with Salesforce, right? So they're looking for somebody that has some background in Salesforce. So yes, this is where you're gonna go in and get that big bag, okay? But how do you get access to Salesforce when Salesforce, you don't even get a demo, okay? Right? Remember, this is what I've been trying to tell you, right? I'm not trying to teach you how to code. I'm trying to put you on a path for you to succeed, okay? When somebody comes in and says, well, you know what, man, I want to get $100,000 job as a Salesforce developer because I keep seeing this thing popping up. Understand that you're going to need to have some type of experience to get that position. So the best way to do this is you become an email marketing specialist, an email developer, right? You go through that path. It's easier for you to get your first job. Once you get your first job, now you get access to Salesforce. Now you're able to go in and put that on your resume. Now you get access to the documentation and see how everything works within Salesforce. Now you go in, build your next portfolio, your next projects, and guess what? Now you start applying as a Salesforce developer. This is where you start getting that 120, 130K, okay? This is how you do it, right? It's transitions, right? It's growth. So again, it's not selling a dream. It's about having a plan and following it. Okay, let's go into the next position in here. We have another one, web designer. Again, sometimes you might see some titles that say web designer, right? But in reality, they don't really know like what's the official title. This usually happens with older companies. So you see here, Collision Technologies still looking for another type of role, which is web designer. But in reality, if you look over here, you start noticing like, hey, knowledge of HTML, CSS, right? Web accessibility, right? Experience working with Basecamp, Google Docs, right? So in reality, even though it says the position web designer, you're technically doing web development work, okay? That's why we listed in there. And also too, there's a lot of people who are graphic designers, UI designers that come to codingphase.com that have those skills. You know how to use Figma. You know how to go in and set up a couple of things with Photoshop. This is some stuff that we teach you on Coding Phase 2. So you could go in and also qualify for those positions. Okay. So let me see in here what else we have. We have Capital One. This is for lead software engineer. So this is when you start seeing the levels, right? You start seeing the levels up, okay? So lead software engineer full stack, and this is in Riverwoods, Illinois, right? Okay, so this is when you start going in and taking up a couple of notches, right? Again, why do we have this here on the job board? Very simple. There's a lot of people that have came to codingphase.com and are also on this path already. They already have the first job, their second job, and now they're looking for the third job. This is how you do it. You go into a position like this and you get that $100-something thousand plus, okay? You're gonna have to need some experience with, at least some cloud computing, right? So 7 years of experience, right? Sometimes you see this thing, 7 years, like, bro, even I get scared, be like, damn, you need 7 years for this shit? Bro, it's not that difficult, right? That's just, I don't know how a lot of these companies, they add like random numbers, right, to like a job description. And in reality, it doesn't mean that they need somebody with 7 years. They just need you to know what the hell you're doing. Okay? It's a great way to filter out beginners. Like if right now, like a guy who just came out of college, right? And he's like, man, I want to apply to this job. How can I go in and filter those people out to make sure that they don't apply, right? Because what I want is somebody that has been working in the industry and already has a couple of years of experience, right? And just know what he's doing. So what I do is I go in and I put a number that's astronomical. I could go in and put 12 years of experience. That right there, everybody who doesn't know shit about the industry is gonna get scared and they're gonna be like, all right, bro, I'm not applying to that shit because that's just like 12 years, okay? A guy that's been in the industry knows that's a way to filter people out. They don't want to deal with a beginner. They don't want to deal with nobody that has no experience. And this is a great way to just scare people, okay? So always keep that in mind. Do not get scared. If you already have your 2-3 years of experience, you could apply to positions that say 7 years. like you go in and you listen to that and you be like, damn, 7 years? They look, bro, that language just came out last year, right? Or that version of whatever programming language or whatever framework it is, like it just came out last year. How do they want somebody who has 7 years on this shit, right? This is how people get filtered out, okay? If you're nervous about seeing 7 years, you're not supposed to be applying to that job, okay? It's a great way to filter people out. Trust me. I've done it before. Whenever I'm looking for an employee, right, or contract work, I go in and be like, all right, I don't want to deal with people that don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm putting 5 years of experience minimum. It's a great way. It's a great way to filter people out. Okay, shout out to everybody in here. By the way, guys, you could leave a comment. You could go in, add a question either here on TikTok or here on YouTube. Go ahead and leave a message, right? I'll go in and read it. Please be respectful, right? Respect my time and let me go in and respect your time, right? So I'm here to help you guys out. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Yes, sir. Randy Luna says. Billy Rodriguez is in here. Let me see who else we got in here. All Day Dre says, hey, just wondering if you had a chance to look at my email regarding my subscription. I'll definitely check it out. Again, guys, I'm trying to do a lot of stuff. Right now, we are in the launch of the new version of Coding Phase right now, which is basically Coding Phase version 4. We got a lot of new features. Just last night, I just added a very detailed section for the web administrator career path, where I'm breaking down all of the things that you got to do as far as the projects for your portfolio. So, you know, I'm busy, you know what I mean? But if it's something that it's like, I need to look at it, I'm going to look at it as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? Again, so please understand that, you know, sometimes people come in the live stream like, yo, you check my email, bro, right? I just sent you, bro, this is not the spot. I'll check it out. Trust me. Every night I go through every single email, right, from everybody. Whatever it is that I have to answer to, I'm going to answer to, and I got you. Wait till the nighttime. Give me that time, please. Okay. Let me see. Menpack says, Coding Phase is always so real. He done did it again. Hey, thank you for that, bro. Shout out to everybody that's in here that's live with me. Okay, let me see what's going on. Coding Phase is all just running through here. Yeah, 7 years of React 19. Yes, bro. That's how people do it, bro. Yeah, some of these companies, they go in and they say, yo, we're looking for somebody with like crazy amount of experience. It's really to filter people out. Trust me, man, because there's people that's not even qualified for roles and they just start applying to jobs. Okay, if it literally fills it up, and then now you have 500 applicants when in reality it's probably 60, 70 applicants that are qualified for that position. So what you do is you go in and you put some football numbers on some of these job descriptions. So that way those people, they already get scared and they don't go in and even flood it out. But the people that know, hey, I got this skill, I got this experience for this type of role, and I can do this type of job, guess what? I'm going to apply, okay? Shout out to everybody that's in here, okay? So let's continue with this, man. Let's see what other jobs we see in here, okay? We have another one, junior web developer. Okay, this is listed 2 hours ago. Malta Tech is seeking for motivating, talented junior web developer. Okay, develop new web page, vanilla, HTML, CSS. Okay, very, very entry level position. You know, as you can see, this job is very, very like this position here is extremely, entry level. They're trying to pay $40,000 per year for this role. They're looking for a junior developer. Again, it's up to you if you want to take a position like this. It's remote. You don't got to pay for transportation. You got to do nothing, right? These is one of those companies that you go in and you use them just for the experience. You're not even there to get a job. You're like, whoa, man, I'm going to be so proud when I get this job. This job, when somebody comes in and say, I need a web developer, right, for $40,000, understand they're trying to catch a deal, okay? Understand that they probably don't even have a budget, but they just need some extra help with a couple of things. And what you do is you use them for the same thing that they're gonna use you, right? They use you for your services, your time. Now you use them back. You say, all right, I know what we're playing here. Okay, you go in, you work there, and as you work in there, you continue applying to other jobs. The same day you get hired there, because that $40,000 is a slap to the face for anybody, right? For a web developer, always remember the title is very important. A web developer, right, is supposed to get paid way more than this. Okay, even if you're a junior web developer, right? A junior web developer starts at $60,000 and up. When you already cutting me out of $20,000, that means it's a slap to my face. So now I'm gonna give you a slap right back, okay? Which is, soon as you hire me in that position for $40,000, I'm continuing to apply to other jobs. So now I'm using you the same way how you using me, right? I'm going in, using you for the experience, and going in and applying to other companies. Guess what happens when you get hired at a company and you say, I'm currently working at this company. It doesn't matter if you've been there a month, 2 months. Companies go in and say, well, this company here took a risk on him already. Clearly he's doing his job. Clearly he's working there, right? And then now there's a reason why he probably want to leave. Guess what? Let's offer him 75. So you worked there for 2 months. You did what you needed to do. You finished everything that you needed to do, right? Now you come in, you come back to the company, tell, hey, listen, I'm getting offered for 75, 90,000. What you guys want to do? Okay? They're going, yeah, man, that's out of our budget. All right, cool. So I won't be here next week. My last day is Friday. And that's it. And you keep it moving. Thank you for the opportunity. But you just came in. You just did 2 months in here. Yeah, but you did a slap to my face with $40,000. Nobody could survive on that. Okay? So if I go in and I bust my ass and I work hard for me to go in and learn all the skills, maybe did an investment, maybe went to college, maybe did a boot camp, etc. And now you're giving me this and you're not willing to go in and pay me what is just, guess what, my guy? I have to go in and find other opportunities. I gave you a chance for you to come in and hire me at a specific, price of like, hey man, I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for, what other companies is already offering me. Okay? You don't want to give it to me? Cool. Man, I'll see you guys, in November. You know what I mean? November. I'll come back in November, right? Right? And it's just facts, right? Sometimes, some of these companies, like, they got to understand, if you're over here looking for a web developer at this price range, you got to understand that's a revolving door, right? Until you go in and say, we're going to pay them what he's supposed to be making. Okay? Again, now, this is a different position. Let's see in here. This is ServiceNow CRM developer, right? This is another role in here. Let's see. Okay, so you see, this is a completely different, right? This is actually paying $70 to $80 per hour. ServiceNow, CRM developer. I got to talk to one of my employees about this because it does say in here 36 to 40, but it's actually, 70 to 80. Okay, I got to talk to the employees. Okay, listed the wrong price on it, but it's fine. It's human. Human nature. This is how you know this thing is not, you know, scraped. This is like verified jobs where people go in and actually add the job themselves. Okay, but yes, this is a position $70 to $80 per hour. ServiceNow CRM developer. Okay, so again, CSS, HTML, modern JavaScript, right? Familiarity with ServiceNow APIs, Glide Records, Glide Ajax, right? Experience ServiceNow, experience UI Builder. Okay, ServiceNow is huge. This is something that we want to bring into codingphase.com. Hopefully by, by January, we're gonna have a new career path in there for CRM specialists. And in there, we're going to be focusing on things like ServiceNow and Salesforce, right? Now, the Salesforce course, shout out to Johnny Lee, one of my partners. We're figuring out the best way to teach it to you guys because technically you can't get access to Salesforce unless you get a license for it. Okay. Now I could go in and pay for the license, but I'm gonna need $1,500, right? Because it is expensive. So if I go in and I say that, most people's not gonna pay that, right? Most people don't want to invest $1,500 for them to go in and get a license, get access to Salesforce. They don't see the value. So I wouldn't even go out of my way and do that investment to go and get the license. You get what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't do it. So what we're planning on doing is creating a simulation of Salesforce and probably have like slideshows and things like that to help you guys learn Salesforce. This is how most people teach Salesforce because it is expensive and most people don't want to pay what a license costs, right? So yeah, it is what it is. So shout out to everybody that's in that space, but ServiceNow is different. ServiceNow, you could get access to ServiceNow. All right. ServiceNow is another great opportunity. As you can see, they're paying $70, $80 per hour with ServiceNow. So pay attention to that. If you haven't paid attention to ServiceNow, like, trust me, pay attention to it. That's one of those roles that, if you want to get a bag, if you already have some type of experience, again, always remember, this is why when you come to codingphase.com, we start you off with the first career paths, right? Again, you can look at the career paths that we focus on initially, which is email developer, Shopify developer, web administrator, right? Why do I focus on these things? Okay, it's very simple. Let me break it down for you, right? Web administrator, right? You could learn how to become a web administrator within a month, right? It's not that hard. You're basically learning a text editor, HTML, CSS, learn HTML, CSS, how to build, from a design. Then from there, we go into how to use the terminal, how to use content management systems like WordPress, Shopify, because as a web administrator, your job is to manage the website. You're not building tools, right? You're not building applications. The applications have already been built. The online stores have already been built. Your job is to manage it. If I go in and I say, hey man, I need you to work at fashionnova.com, you don't have to build anything here. There's a Shopify developer to do the changes on the website. The web administrator, your job is to make sure that there is the right, discounts, the right banners, the right products, that everything is in its right categories. For example, like if this suit comes out, right, this what they call it, launch set, right? This hoodie in a sweatpants suit comes out. Guess what? Your job is to make sure that all the images are uploaded properly, right? That they have been optimized. On top of that, you have the right title, you have the right price, you have the right discounts already set up for it, right? You see with code 440, right? You have the different colors, right? Variations, that's how you call it on Shopify. You have the different variations, you have the different sizes, you have the different sizes that's available. Your job is to come in and make sure that this website looks good and is providing accurate information. Okay, that's it. That's what the web administrator does. Okay, so when you start with this career path, this is something that you could do in a month and a half, depending on how much time you put in. Of course, if you do one video a day, yeah, you're going to be there for 3 months. But if you go in and you start going through the courses, at least an hour, 2 hours a day consistently, right? Then from there, you get through all of the courses, and then you get to the point where you start building the portfolio projects. Okay. And then from there, guess what? We provide you with the portfolio template so you could go in and look nice and professional. Okay. So let me see over here. Okay. Let me put this here. Okay, so you have it was a portfolio template. Show you guys one of the portfolio templates, right, that we have for you. Okay, now you have your top section, your image. We show you how to get all of these things, right? You have your about section, your contact section. You have your projects here. Okay, they link to all of the different projects that you might have. You show you how to do a case study, right, to make sure that you could get this position. And let's say somebody comes in and they're about to leave your portfolio. This is when you stop them. Okay, we've thought of all of this, guys. When I'm telling you guys right now, this is what I do. Okay. It's the winning strategy. This is what I do. Okay, stop playing with me. Everything from, the career path to, the portfolio, the resume. Y'all want to see how the resume look? Cool. Let's go into the resume builder. Okay, let's go into the resume builder. Stop playing games. Okay, for those of you guys that's wondering, like, okay, cool, Joe, you got the course, you got the career path, right? You've done the research, you've helped thousands of people get into the game, right? You got the portfolio template, but what about the resume builder? Okay, very simple. Okay, this is the resume builder, right here. Okay, you have a way to edit your resume builder. This is how it's gonna look. Okay, you have all of this information. You could add whatever you want in here. So I'll give you an example. I'm just adding like some, dummy data for you, right? So we have the different jobs, right? Let's say add another job. Let me pull up another. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up a couple of things in here. Let me pull up this for you guys, right? Got a bunch of windows in here, bro. But yeah, let me show you guys how the resume is gonna look at the end. Okay. Now, this is not the prettiest resume, and it's not supposed to be the prettiest resume. This is a resume that's supposed to go and solve a problem. Okay. And the problem is that when you apply to some of these jobs, your resume is not getting picked up by the ATS bots. It's missing keywords. It's missing your job experience, right? So what we have done is built a resume that goes in the format of what the ATS bots want, okay? So I'll show you guys right now. So this is like an example right here, okay? This is how your resume is supposed to look, okay? So you could have everything in there. Do not use multiple columns. Do not use anything. Use what we already give you, okay? This has been proven, has been tested, and it works, okay? A lot of people have came to codingphase.com that they were struggling on how to find a job. We went in, we built entryleveljobs.ai, and we used this resume, okay? So basically, you have your top section, you have your job title, right? You have your phone number, you have all your stuff over here, you have your professional summary, you have your experience, right? All of these is dummy data just so you guys can see. Okay, so you have experience, you have your position, you have your location where the job was at, you have all of your experience in here in bullet points. You have quantitative, bullet points where you're basically, in a sense, you're breaking down what you have done at the company. For example, built and deployed 30 plus responsive email templates monthly for e-commerce clients, generating over 2 million in email driven revenue. Okay, companies want to see what results have you gotten. Just going in and say, well, I know HTML, CSS. That's not what's going to get you hired. You got to go in, have the right keywords, have the right data, and the results that you was able to achieve according to whatever job you was doing in the position. Okay, if you don't have that, you wasting the other person's time, right? I want to see results. Okay, yeah, you know how to code, but everybody knows how to code. What did you do for this company, right? This is how you do it. Okay, so we have all of that inside of the website. Like I said, this is your resume right here. You have all of your skills. You might say, well, Joe, I got a resume, but my resume looks much prettier than this. This isn't a resume, again, for you to go in, like back in the days where you go in and you hand in a resume to somebody in their hand, okay? And be like, yo, here's my beautiful, nice stylized, I got 2 columns, I got this, and that, I got some photos here. That shit doesn't work, okay? You have to have a very simple, straightforward resume that just goes straight to the point, and it's laid out in a certain way where the ATS bot, right? Because no one's going to see this resume before the ATS bot. The ATS bot is the reason why when you apply to a job, right? And once you apply to that job, they go in and send you an email right away, like in less than 20, 30 minutes. Like, yeah, we went with somebody else. They didn't even look at your resume. The ATS bot went in, scraped your resume. The format that you have your resume didn't even allow them to go in and get all of your job description, your job experience. And then when you go in and you say, well, I want to filter out people who don't match at least 70% of the keywords that we need for this position, your resume already X'd you out. So automatically you send an email to that candidate that says, thank you for applying, right? And when you go in and you be like, well, thank you for applying. Okay, thank you for that. But what about the job? Can I get an interview? You already got X'd out. You don't even have all the keywords. Why? Because your resume was shit, right? It's not built for the format that ATS bots can go in and scrape your data properly, okay? So shout out to everybody in here. Renee said a Salesforce course will be awesome. Yes, we working on all of that, Renee, right now. Right now for this month, what we're launching is the Future Proof Email Developer course. That's coming for Black Friday, okay? That's been on pre-order. For those of you guys that got it early, y'all got the early bird price, okay? Again, it's going to be part of codingphase.com. So if you want to come in and get access to all those courses, you basically just got to be a member to Coding Phase, okay? You get access to pretty much everything. I mean, I'll break it down for you guys real quick, okay? Open up the Miro, okay? Very simple, okay? Super straightforward, okay? I need to get that window out. Every time I go like this, it shows another window. All right. So anyways, but here you go. Coding Phase, right? $30 a month is basically $1 a day. All right. You have the career paths, right? You have the video courses, the interactive lessons, the portfolio projects, right? We give you the projects that you're supposed to build. Okay. We're not leaving this shit up to you. Okay. If you're one of these people that's like, yo, I just need to get a new job. I just need somebody to come in and hold my hand. This is the platform for you. I'm not leaving it up to you. You don't know what you're doing, okay? And that's for you too, okay? You don't know what you're doing. You're still a beginner. You're still just getting your feet wet. You're wet behind the ears. You're still a baby in this, okay? If you're struggling to find a job here, you still don't know what you're doing with this, okay? So this is why you got to come to the pros. You got to come to somebody that, I get paid for this, okay? Imagine this, right? If someone wants to go in and say, hey, man, we're going to pay you for you to figure out what's happening in the industry, what jobs and opportunities is out here, what's the best way of teaching people, so people who are beginners to learn this skill, you're going to master that shit, okay? That's what I've done, all right? We have 9 years doing this thing, right? 8+ years with codingphase.com, 9 years on YouTube, all right? There's a reason why I'm Coding Phase. You get what I'm saying? So again, you have the career paths, you have the video courses, you have the interactive lessons so you could practice, okay? And just to like hone it down even more. Then you have the portfolio projects. I come in, I give you the details, exactly what you got to do. I give you examples of what the project's supposed to look like, so you're not like a looky-loo and you don't know what you're doing. I'm giving you the whole plan, all right? Okay? Portfolio projects, and then from there, I'm giving you the portfolio template so you can look like a professional. In the portfolio template, it has everything that you're going to need for you to go in and stand out. A beautiful homepage, right? Well-structured layout, very good design. Then on top of that, you have tracking systems so you could track. Every time that somebody goes to your portfolio template, you want to track Hey, where did they drop off? This is how the professionals move out here. Okay, regular people don't do this shit. Go ask how many people in here. I want to put this shit in here on the chat. How many people in here is tracking, you know, how many people is going to their resume, or how many people going to their portfolio, and how many of those people are actually going into each project? Put in number one if you've been doing this, okay? Put in number one if you've been doing this. Put in number two if you haven't been doing this. Okay, just be honest. It's okay, all right? Not a lot of people know this, right? This is how companies go in and figure out what works. When you go to a website like Netflix.com, they tried a million different variations of that website. That same website, you go to Netflix.com, they tried a different title. When you go in and when I go in, we have two different titles. When I go in, I see this movie. When you go in, you see this other movie on the homepage. You know why they do that? A/B testing, right? Now, most people who are trying to find a job and get into this game, they don't know about this, right? They don't know about this because they've never worked in the industry. The people that worked in the industry know how this thing works. But even at that, I've seen developers that know about this and they still don't do it. Because I go on TikTok and I'll be seeing people that they be like crying. They're upset. Man, I got 12 months. I can't find a job. Man, this industry is crazy. Yo, I'm cooked. I'm not going to find a job. And it's like, bro, have you tested your portfolio? Have you tested your resume? Have you tested any of these things, right? Are you on top of this, right? Are you using the same strategies that work for the major companies in your portfolio? Always remember this. These are techniques and things that have been proven to work. Just because you're trying to find a job doesn't mean that you're not a product or a service, a business. You got to look at yourself the same way, right? If I have 10 people come to my website, my portfolio, when they go to my portfolio, I want to know what they're doing. This is why on my portfolio template that I give out to you guys, I have post hoc integrated in there for you. When somebody comes to the website, you want to know what's happening on that website. Someone comes in, they're reading through your about section, and then they leave. That tells you there's something wrong in your about section. Something there turned them off. You got to change that. If I go in and I go to your portfolio and I start looking around, because you can see it with the mouse. Remember, there's live sessions recordings inside of your website, okay? You could track all of that. If Google does it, Netflix does it, why you can't do it? If all of the marketers and the people who, again, this is the difference between developers, right, and the marketing team. The developer just builds the tools, builds the website, and that's all he worries about, the technical side of things. The marketer, right, needs to focus on how do we go in and raise the conversion rates? How do we go in and keep track of everything that the user does on the website so we could have a higher retention rate on the website? That's what you got to do with your portfolio. If somebody goes to your portfolio and spends 5 minutes, I guarantee you're going to get an interview. Someone goes to your portfolio and spends 10 seconds, 2 seconds, you're not getting nothing. You're not getting an interview. You're not getting nothing. Something on that website told them this is not the one. This guy's not a professional, right? And if you're not tracking that, how you going to know that? How you going to fix that if you're not tracking that? This is the things that I provide to you guys and show you guys how to do it so you could go in and raise your level of opportunities, right? In percentages, right? I give you an example, right? Let's bring this shit up, man. I love to go in and explain this thing for people, okay? Let me go in and explain this, okay? Let's go in. I'm going to put this on the screen so we could go over this, all right? So in here, let's go in. Let's look at this as a checklist, okay? Let's look at this as a checklist. And this is how anybody is going to go in and give you a job opportunity, right? Or a job opportunity or, an interview, whatever, right? let's go over this, right? First thing, okay? Does this person have the education, right? Education, right? This could be a degree, this could be a certificate, this could be something, right? This could give you a 10%, okay? 10% chance. It's not a 50, 100%. You could have education from wherever, right? That's not a full guarantee that you're going to be able to get the job, okay? That's 10%, okay? Now, let's go into, let's say, a portfolio. A portfolio and the right projects, right, might give you another 10%. All right? Let's go in and say you have a resume, right? A resume that goes through the ATS bots. So they actually got to see your application, right? So the resume, let's go in and put in a 20%, okay? And I put a 20% because the resume is so important that if you drop the ball on your resume, you're not even getting seen. It don't matter. I see people coming in and saying, man, I'm applying to 5,000 jobs. Bro, you're doing something wrong. It don't take 5,000 jobs, okay? I just did this basically, 2-3 weeks ago. I went in, I decided I'm going to apply to positions, right? With my own resume, with my own information, and I went in on a weekend and I got 7 interviews. What do I know that you don't know? You might say, well, Joe, you got 10 plus years as a developer. But the thing is that the positions that I applied to, I didn't even apply saying I got 10 years in the game. I just went in and did my resume as if I started working since 2020. Okay? And I got 7 interviews, right? So that's like, let's say you got 5 years of experience. I mean, somebody might still say, well, you got 5 years. I got 0. It's not that. It's just you got to apply to the right positions and you got to have all these things like a checklist, okay? Because I know I'm an employer. I've hired people before. I worked at a company where they asked me, yo, what do you think about this guy? Should we hire him, right? I've been in those positions. I've been in both sides, working within a company and the company asking me, hey, what do you think about this guy? Come in with us on this interview. We're going to interview him, right? I've been on that side. I've been on the other side getting interviewed for me to get a job. And then I've also been on the other side where I own the company and now I'm the one deciding who's going to get hired or not. You understand that? So I've seen it from all ways. All right. So now let's go into this. Okay. Education, 10%. Portfolio, 10%. Resume, 20%. Okay. Every single time that you go in and you have something that gives you an edge, right? It gives you a higher percentage of you getting hired. As you can see, none of this shit add up to 100%. Okay? There's nothing that's going to guarantee you that you're going to get a job 100% just because you apply to it. Unless you like somebody so well known that every company in the world is like, yo, bro, we need you. You know, Elon Musk right now says, yo, let me apply to a job. Yeah, my name is Elon Musk. I ran a multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company, right? Somebody will be stupid to not go in and be like, yo, just give him the job. Don't even interview him, right? But the truth is that for most of us, we don't have that. We have to go in and go through this checklist, right? Your education, do you actually have the skill? We're not talking about degrees. Do you have the skill? Okay, that's 10%. That just goes in. There's a lot of people that know how to do what you know how to do, but don't have everything else that we're about to list. Education, okay? Do you have education? Do you know the skill? Okay, that's 10%. That gives you a little 10% that you could go in and qualify for this job. You have a portfolio. Okay, cool. Here's some good projects. Oh, okay, cool. You demonstrated that you know how to do this, and you just basically confirmed what was already on your resume. So your resume now goes in and gives you 20%. All right. Now, the next thing is, right? Are you doing testing? Right? Are you doing testing? Are you applying? Well, let's put this into 2 things. Are you doing testing, right? A/B testing. Okay. This is going to give you a higher percentage. You know why? Because no one else does this. All these beginners just starting, and people who are experienced, they go in off the strength of like, I know how to code, and they apply to jobs, right? And they expect somebody to come in and just give them a job. But what they don't realize, everybody here knows how to code. Everybody here knows the same shit that you know. This is why when you go in and you start doing like Node.js, guess what? Node.js is the worst thing to learn in 2025 for a beginner. Why? Because everybody on YouTube got a YouTube free tutorial teaching Node.js and the MERN stack, React, and this. Everybody learned that shit. Right? This is also one of the reasons why you see so many college students struggling, because this information, this knowledge back in the days was just for people that went to college. Now this information, you could come to codingphase.com and learn for $30, you learn how to code. The same thing that a guy goes to school for 4 years and you end up in the same position as him. So now this information is no longer special, right? It's no longer special. It doesn't have the high value how it used to have it. Where it's like, hey, if I have a degree, hey, shit, I get the job because I know how to do this. Guess what? A bunch of people learn how to code on boot camps. A whole bunch of people learn how to code online. The MERN stack, it's literally the ABCs. It's like learning HTML and CSS now. It literally, it doesn't help you with anything as far as like looking special or anything, because everyone knows it. So when you apply to a job, right, understand there's 5,000 to 10,000 other people that also apply to that same job. You think that you're going to get seen? Right? So all those people that's doing the same shit that everyone is doing, right? Because it's so easy to just be lazy and just watch a YouTuber or a TikToker tell you, hey man, just learn the MERN stack, learn Node.js. But they're not worried about getting your results. They just worry about getting your views. Once they have your views, it's a wrap. They already got paid. You get what I'm saying? They get paid by views. I don't get paid by views. For me to get paid, I got to get you results. So I got to go the extra mile, right? I go in, I pull up right now on YouTube, right? I pull up on YouTube. I make $0 from YouTube. Okay? I make $0 from YouTube. I don't get paid for views, right? We could open up the analytics. I don't get paid for views. Okay? I don't get paid for views. This is how much I get paid from YouTube. $198. What I'm gonna do with that? Right? You tell me, what can I do with $198? Nothing. It doesn't do shit for me. It doesn't even pay for one car bill, right? It doesn't do anything for me. It allows me to buy pizza once or 2-3 times a month if I wanted to. That's it. That's all it does. If you order two pizzas, it costs $50 now, right? $46, but you gotta give tip. It's $50. You do that shit 4 times. That's it. That's my YouTube money, right? People don't go in and give you the advice that you're supposed to have, right? Because there's no reason for them. Now, if I go in and I get thousands and thousands and thousands of views, why would I even stop that? Even though I know you're not going to get a job, even though we keep seeing people are not finding job opportunities with the MERN stack and Node.js right now because it's oversaturated. It's way too many people knowing the same skill, right? And why would I stop promoting that when in reality it gets me paid? I'm different. I don't get paid from that. I get paid from my hard work. I don't do content for entertainment. I don't do none of that shit. I come in here and I focus. Okay, give me 1 second. I focus on the actual things that's going to help people. Because when people come to me, they're paying for a service. That's how I make my money. I make my money by you coming in, saying, hey, I'm going to be a Coding Phase Diamond member, right? This is what I'm paying you for, Joe. You do the work. You figure this shit out. You make sure that I go in and I succeed, okay? It's not by views. Views is entertainment, okay? We don't do that. So a lot of those people that's just watching people and just doing the same shit that everybody else is doing, they don't even do A/B testing, bro. Okay? So when they go in and they apply to a job, right? And they go in and they apply to that job and apply to 1,000 jobs. Supposedly, I hear people that apply 500, 1,000 jobs, which is fucking crazy. You don't need to apply to that many jobs. That tells you whatever you're doing it wrong, right? They don't even do A/B testing. Why did this resume get me an interview and why this one didn't? Why did this portfolio that I applied to 500 jobs and I only got 2 views? It's clear there's something wrong with your resume. They're not even going to your website, right? They don't do A/B testing. So this right here gives you another 10% above everybody else, okay? Another 10%, okay? Above the average stinted. The average person that's just, walking through here and just like, if you don't open the door, they're slamming their head against the wall in the door. Because they don't know. It's hard for you to do all of this stuff, to go in and look at this like a strategy, like a technique, right? But this is how the people that want to go and do this shit, they get it done, right? It's a process, right? Because you got to say, well, I got to learn the skill. I got to build a portfolio, got to build the right projects, got to make sure my resume is good. I got to do A/B testing to make sure that whatever is going on, I could fix early. If you go in and you apply to 100 jobs and out of those 100 jobs, you didn't get one interview, there's something wrong in this process on your portfolio and your resume. And you're never going to find out which one is the one that's broken and what you got to fix without A/B testing. Okay? Now, what's the next step? Okay? This is very important, right? Likability. I don't know. How you spell likability? Likability. Okay? Yeah, so there you go. I spelled it right. Likability, right? Right? It's basically, right, it's the quality of being pleasant and easy to like, stemming from traits like warmth, humor, genuine interest in others. Okay? Believe it or not, all right? Believe it or not, your personality, right? Who you are, who you is, gives you an edge. Sometimes your looks get you an edge. Okay? Ain't no way around it. This is what we put in. The likability, okay? All right? Likability, all right? That's another 10%. So we got 10, 20, right? 10, 10, right? 20, 40, 50, 60, okay? We got that, right? All right? And then from there, we're going to put this one. Endurance. Okay? Another 10%. You're never gonna get 100% unless you're like somebody well known. Right? I'm telling you guys right now, it's never gonna happen. Okay? You're never gonna get 100% guarantee that you could get a job. It doesn't work like that. But when you come in and you have all of these things here, you damn near got the job. Okay? So education is the skills that you have, right? And maybe a college or maybe certification, whatever it is that could give you a higher percentage. Portfolio is your work, what you have done, okay? Your resume is another 20%. That's where everything, you're going to lay everything down that you can do and where, being able to get through the ATS bots. A/B testing, right? That's huge. Without A/B testing, you can't figure out how to fix your portfolio or your resume. Your likability, that's something that's out of your hands. You can't control that. You could work on it, but you can't control it, right? If you're the Notre Dame, Hunchback of Notre Dame, guess what? You're on a fucking disability, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on a handicap right now, right? It's going to be difficult, right? But can you do it? Yes, because other people have done it, right? If you built like a fucking minivan, guess what? It's gonna happen, right? Now, little Cindy, who got a brand new BBL from Colombia, right? Beautiful smile, the flowing hair. Yeah, she got the likability, right? But that doesn't mean that you, little Maria, right? Build like a minivan, right? Don't mean you don't have a chance, because Lil Cindy could have likability, but she missing the education, the portfolio, the resume, right? The A/B testing and the endurance. Always remember that. This is the thing. People don't understand how this shit works. It's not that hard. Okay? It's not that hard. This is what we call right here. We're going to put this here. Goals. Okay? Goals, right? This is going to be, we're going to go in and we're going to put in, let's say, recent college graduate, right? Got education, got a portfolio, missing the A/B testing. Okay. All right. Maybe are missing, let me see, the resume. I'm seeing a lot of recent college graduates that don't have that, and they're missing this. Okay. So they got the education, likability, and maybe have the endurance. Because remember, the endurance comes in when you are doing like the interviews. You could go to a million interviews. You just graduated college. You have zero problems right now, right? A lot of these guys that just graduated college, right? They have zero problems right now in the sense of you could still live with your parents for a little while, okay? The average person that's switching careers, that has kids, has a mortgage, has a car, has this, they might not have the endurance. The endurance is how many interviews you could do. How many, leak code questions can you do? A lot of us, once you reach a certain point, we might not have that endurance because we already freaking tired. We come home, we tired, right? So, again, I'm going to put this here. All right. Okay, recent college. Okay, let's go in, take this one. We're going to put this other one right here, which is going to be online. Right? Online education. Right? This is the guy that goes in, watches the YouTube tutorial, etc. Right? They have the education, probably missing the portfolio, probably missing the resume, right? Probably missing the A/B testing, right? And most likely missing the endurance. So you got the education and the likability, right? You could have the likability, right? Some people might not even have the likability, but I'm giving it to you guys. Okay? Likability is when I go to an interview, am I comfortable? Do I make the people around me feel comfortable? Do they feel like, man, I would love to work with this guy? You know what I mean? Like it's a thing, it's an aura. It's a girl, I'll be honest. Shorty look good. Who wouldn't want to have a shorty that look good at a job? It's just the facts. We could go in and be like, whoa, the misogynist. Bro, this is how the world works. We can't fucking hide that shit. Same thing as a guy, 6 foot tall, the, long blonde hair to the back. He was a, football jock in high school. He still works out on the weekends, and you know what I mean. He plays golf on Sundays. They love that guy. That's the likability. He always gets a 10% automatically. That's how life is. We can't hide that shit. But if they're missing the other things that you have, you get the position over them. Okay? Which is your education, the portfolio, the resume, the A/B testing, the likability, and your endurance. You have all of that, or at least have all of these. Even if you don't have the endurance, right? The endurance is just like how many interviews you could do, how much fucking. Some people don't have that. I don't have that. You know what I mean? When people go in and be like, yo, Joe, you should be working at this, this, and that. Bro, I don't want to be doing 5 interviews for some of these companies. I don't want that. I don't want to spend 2 hours going over an algorithm question. I don't like that shit. Right? I don't like that. So for endurance, you might give me a 2%. Right? I'm great to apply to a bunch of interviews and go to a bunch of things, but I'm not doing 2-3 hour interviews. That's not me. I don't like that shit. And that's a personal choice. Sometimes, the endurance percentage is really up to you to decide, like, if you want to do it. There's some people that they have no portfolio, they have no resume, right? They don't do A/B testing, right? But they have endurance. They could sit down there and do fucking 5-hour interview and just go back and forth, and they'll do 20,000 leak code questions, right? And they'll go through that whole process. They'll knock all that shit out, right? I, on the other hand, I know what's my handicap. The things that I don't like to do, the things that I might not, be good at, in the sense of, like, I don't want to do no fucking 2 hour. Shout out to my boy Mahi, right? I mean, if you guys don't know who Mahi is, shout out to my boy Mahi, right? Mahi he's worked for like at least 3 to 4 different fan companies, right? Go check him out. Let me see if I find him. He's on TikTok, right?
My twin brother is a software engineer.
I'll tell you right now, Mahi CS, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta go through my messages, hold on, to find him. But shout out to my boy Mahi. We're gonna bring him to Coding Phase and interview him, share a little bit, his journey. And I love this guy because he's a really cool guy, man. That's my boy. I know him for a couple of years now, right? There's a lot of, very few people that I could consider a friend or somebody that I could relate with, right, in this game of, like, social media, like people that you could go in and relate to. But I watch like somebody like Mahi. I love to watch him, right? His endurance is crazy, right? Shout out to him. He comes from that background of college, right? Leak code, work at Fang, right? My background is different. My background is self-taught, online training, working small business, medium-sized business, building my own business. So it's different career paths. But his endurance, it's crazy, right? A lot of the stuff that he talks about in here, like just the interviews and all the stuff that, you got to go through to get some of these jobs, right? This is what he covers. This is what he talks about. Shout out to my boy Mahi, like I said, right? I might not want to do that shit. I find that shit to be so boring. Now, he has the endurance to go through it. And there's a couple, a lot of guys that have the endurance that's interested in that and that could knock that out, and you have a great career. But you also got to also know, like, what type of developer you are, right? And what's your goals? What's your path, right? For me, I just never was into that, right? I did an interview at Twitter, the interview at Tumblr. After that, I was like, yeah, this route is not for me. And that's something that also, too, people got to realize, right? You got to have, all of these things together for specific roles, right? In specific roles and specific positions, right? If you don't have this like a checklist, okay, you're not getting hired, okay? Now, like I said, when you come to Coding Phase, I'm focusing on making sure we get your education up, so you know the skill. We get you your portfolio up. We get you your resume up, right? We do the A/B testing. We try to get your likability. I can't do much with your likability, right? If you go to an interview, you be like, hi guys, my name is Bob. I want to learn how to, I want to get a job here. You're not getting hired, bro. You show up to a Zoom interview where the Zoom call, it's in a dark room. You're like fucking, you're under fucking sheets or some shit. You're under sheets like this. You know what I mean? And you're getting interviewed and you're like, yes, hi sir. Bro, you gotta get a well-lit camera, well-lit space, so people can see you, see who you are, what's your personality like, can you answer the questions, how you handle pressure, right? Talk about your careers. You get what I'm saying? You got to have all of that, right? So you got to bring that up. You know, I've seen people that's really good looking and really have everything, but the personalities was stopping them. You got to have that likability, right? That's just how life is, okay? Shout out to my boy Anna because he's like, yo, speaking facts. It's the truth. Somebody say, build like a minivan is crazy. It's fine. You could be built like a minivan. You could be built like a potato. There's guys built like potatoes out here. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. It's okay. Right? Because that doesn't define you. Right? But you have to also understand. Right? Lil Billy shows up with the six pack, how you doing, sir? With a strong, firm hand and this. I might go in and say, all right, Lil Billy got that one. But he don't got the education, the portfolio, the resume, the A/B testing, and my 5% of likability. Because when I go to a room, right, I might not be the best looking guy in there. I might not be this. But when I go in there, you feel the aura. You're like, I like this guy. I don't know what he does, but I like this guy. His energy is up. You get what I'm saying? It don't matter, right? So there's plus and minuses that you always gonna have. Even with education, you might know everything, but guess what? They need somebody who knows Python. This guy got it. So y'all both on the same level, but he got it. So yeah, and likability is personality, it's looks, right? And it's, you know, being able to have a conversation. Do you give that aura, I want to work with you? You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. There's people that, you know, I always use, like, shout out to the Indians, right? There's some Indians that are Americanized that are dope. Like, you want to work with them, you want to hang out with them, they super cool, right? But then there's some Indians that come straight from India. Their culture is completely different. They're doing their own thing. They got their own table at the lunchroom. You get what I'm saying? And they're doing their own thing. Now, how do those people get hired? They might not have the likability, but they got everything else. So when you go into an interview, you're like, man, does this guy education, portfolio, resume, A/B testing, does he have the endurance? Yes, he does. Right? So you could have all the likability. You could be like, man, we love this guy. But guess what? He don't have the education. He don't have the portfolio. He don't have the resume. Right? He don't got the A/B testing. He don't got the endurance. But we like him. Likability only could only get you so far. Because in this type of career, it's about how you produce. It's not just if I like you. Now, if you work at a store, at a retail store, I'm choosing the person that I like, period. At retail, you don't need no skills. Retail, we could teach you everything there. In development, it's different. Development, you got to produce and you got to perform good. So I could go in and be like, man, I love this guy, but shit, he don't perform good. He's not good, bro. I don't think he's going to be good in this position. Now, this other person I might not even like. I'm like, damn, man, I got to fucking have this guy here. Like, shit, this guy might not even know English properly. This guy don't even know how to speak. And it happens. I've seen people that be like, how does this guy work here? I don't understand nothing he's saying. Right? But the guy's a genius. The guy's in there, boom, boom, boom. He understands everything, right? He just says he might have an accent, but he understands everything. So now, what's the best thing? Shit, talk to whatever. Let's just call him John, to not generalize any nationalities or generalize any ethnic background. Let's just call him John. Just talk to John through fucking Slack. John is an expert at writing. He's a genius. He could solve any problem. He does everything. Is he the one that's gonna do the presentation when we gotta go in and show this to the product team? No, he's not the one. Put him in the back somewhere. Lock him up in the fucking room. He can't fucking perform. He's not gonna be the one that's gonna go in and present this project. Right? Nobody's gonna understand him. Nobody's gonna fucking understand the delivery on this presentation. We're gonna go in and throw little Billy in the front. Little Billy knows perfect English, got a great smile. That's the little comb over shit, right? Like, yeah, Bob, if we go in and we do this, and it's gonna bring performance by 20, 30%. Let little Billy go in and present that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a role. Always remember, in a company, in anywhere, in a team, it's like a basketball team. You don't want your center player running down the court like he's a point guard. No, you're a center player. You go under the rim so you can catch the rebounds, and if you're open, we'll pass it to you so you could shoot a 3-pointer, right? Once in a that's it. That's all we want you here. Defense, catch the ball, and whenever we can't pass it to anybody, we'll pass it to you and you got a 3-pointer. That's it, right? That's just how life works, okay? If I work at a car dealership, right, and I work at a company where, where likability is what gets us sales, I'm putting Lil Cindy with the BBL at the front. Oh, this is a Rolls Royce Cullinan, $500,000, with the extra moons in the sky. We could throw Mars in there if you want us to put it up there, right? A guy comes in here, looks at that girl. He don't even want to say no to her. He's like, listen, you know what it is. You know I got it. What, you want to put Mars and Saturn in it? Put Mars and Saturn. And Shorty goes, it's only $200,000 more, right? Can you afford that? So now, because Shorty's so bad, now you feel the pressure. You're like, damn, I gotta pay. Give me that $700. I got it. When you go home, you're like, damn, what did I do? But that was the technique from the company. That was the car dealership. They got you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a role in this world. You just got to know how to play it. And don't be mad at what the cards that got dealt to you. Now you go in, you say, okay, what are the things that I got to work on to go in and overshadow everybody else? That's what I've been doing my whole life. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been doing my whole life. Coming in, freaking first generation immigrant, right? Sleeping on a couch my whole life, right? I didn't get my own room until fucking 18, 19 years old, right? I freaking went to the worst schools. I freaking worked in every bullshit job, right? Shit, I ain't got no money for no braces. I ain't got no nothing. My teeth were crooked. My one teeth was going this way, the other one going this way, right? Coming from being broke. There's no money for that. I don't get no fucking, hey man, my sister got braces. I said to my mom, yo, let her get the braces. It is what it is. I know this shit is not going to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Started going bold at 24, 25 years. This shit's not going to stop me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even just the looks. It's not even all this stuff. It's everything else that you come with the package. Sometimes you got to work on other things when you have a disability. If you missing a right arm, you learn how to fucking throw with the left arm. That's just how it is. Right? That's how life works. You got to go in and make shit work for you with the cards that you have in hand. Once you do that and you understand how that shit works, you could get any job and opportunity. You could grow as much as you want. Because it's not about the prettiest, not about the most handsome person. It's about coming with a full package. And understand that there's some things that you might get a little minus here, a little minus there. But if I got let's say 1, 2, 3, let's say 10, 20, 40, 50, 70, let's say 60, 70%, I'm good. Or if I'm missing some of the little things, I might have likability, I get a 5. Cool. I got a 65% chance. And I just continue doing everything else that continues to help me out. Get to the next level. Again, we haven't even talked about the next thing, right? Because we were talking about just beginners. This is a big one, right? Experience is another 20%. Experience is another 20%. So somebody might come in here and say, well, Joe, my likability is not that great, right? I get a 2%, right? I get a 5%, right? It's fine, right? My resume is a 20%. My portfolio is a 5%. Education is a 5%, right? My endurance is like a 5%, but I got a 20% on experience. I've been in this industry, this specific industry of e-commerce for 10 plus years. Yeah, you trump everybody else. You got 10 years of experience within one industry. You get what I'm saying? It could be you started in retail. That's part of e-commerce, right? You started with retail. You understand how customers work. You started with setting up product editor. You know how that works. You went into Shopify, started building online stores for businesses. You know how that worked. You work with email marketing in those companies, which also helped those companies generate millions of dollars. Now you got experience. This is when you go in and you start looking at the CEOs and CTOs. You be like, who is this guy? Yo, how they got the you got the fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame, and he's CEO. Yeah, he comes with a full package and experience. No one that becomes CEO gets there without coming with the whole package. Might not have all the likability, but he has everything else that comes with it. You get what I'm saying? This is why you go in and you start looking around like, yo, why the freaking you look at a guy of what's this guy name? Ben Mallah, right? Look at a guy like this, right? And you be like, his likability can't be that good. But guess what? This guy's worth, over $50 million, right? Listing his house for $35 million. I remember when he bought it for 23. No, he bought it for 18, right? He bought it for 18. Did some renovations, had it at 23. Now it's at $35 million, right? He in Clearwater, right? He's also on YouTube. Shout out to him. Real good dude. Met him before. But his likability, you look at him, you're like, wait, this guy, how does this guy get to this point? He has everything else that he needs. He worked on every specific thing that he needed to get him to where he wants to get to. And then you'll see somebody who you would think will have everything, right? Have the education, good looks, have all this, and they're working at fucking T-Mobile as a manager. How the fuck this guy's here? This guy could be in anywhere, but they're missing everything else. They're not willing to train themselves. They're not willing to do the education, to take risk. They're not willing to go in and learn new skills, right? They go to college. They like, I got a major, English major. I'm not going back to school. And they just like, what can I do with this? T-Mobile's hiring. You got a bachelor's, come in. You got $28 an hour. They stay there for fucking 10 years, 20 years. Don't even think of like, maybe I could open my own T-Mobile. They don't even do that, right? So you get what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to have all of these pieces there. Little Billy got the UI faces. Look about him. Let him do it. For those of you guys that don't know, UIfaces.com. Right? You go in, like, hey, you got UI faces, right? You got one of these guys, right? Shout out to Little Billy, right? We got Little Billy here, Little Billy right here, right? Little Cindy, right? We get one of these guys. Let him do the presentation. I'm fine with it, right? I'm fine with it. I'll be like, yo, go ahead, do the presentation, bro. If it's going to get us $100 million, go ahead. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how life is. Sometimes you got to go in and understand, hey, it's a business move. Oh, little Cindy, you just came back from Colombia? You got that BBL? You healed? What's going on, man? It's no leaking from the side? Cool. Go do that presentation. I need you to get the sale. That's how life is. And that's why, sometimes people get mad at some people and be like, yeah, she only got that because of this. She knows what she's doing. let her work. Let her cook. You know, there's some chicks that be mad, be like, yeah, people only follow her because she got a BBL, she got this, and let her cook. She's using what she's supposed to be using. She got her gifts in different ways. Right? And then they'll be so funny. There's some girls that is like, they'll go in, they'll be fighting it. It's like, yeah, I just don't want people, you know, they'll be like, really beautiful, but they don't want to use their fucking beauty either. Sometimes some people, they do this shit like, yeah, I just want people to respect me for me. And I get it, but if you got an advantage, that's like me going in and be like, I'm 7 foot tall, but I don't want people to judge me. I don't want to play basketball. I'm going to play golf because I want people to respect my skills. And don't say, well, it's because of my height. You're 7 fucking foot tall. Use that shit. God gave you that. Use it. Yeah, sometimes I'll be seeing some people that be like, yeah, I don't want to. And I've seen somebody like, I'm not going to say the name, but somebody go in, cover it up, do all type of shit, baggy ass clothes. Yeah, I just don't want people to judge me. Ma, use it. You fucking, God gave you this shit. You're not doing nothing wrong. If they want to go in and they feel pressure, that's on them. Don't take the pressure on you and be like, oh my God, I don't want to get the attention. God gave you that shit for a reason. Use that shit. Make your money, get your bag. Get in positions that other people can't get. Use that shit. Why not? You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't think. They be like, yeah, I want people to go in and respect me for what I got in him. I want people to go in and be like, yo, he got a bag. I don't know what he doing, but he got a bag. You know what I mean? And there's like a saying in DR, like, yo, a person gotta, like, when somebody does something so crazy, they be like, yo, ese tipo lo que tiene son dos cucarachas peleando ahí en la cabeza. Which means, like, yo, I don't care if people come in and be like, yo, he doing good, but he only got 2 cockroaches on his brain just fighting each other. Like, I don't care. I'm getting a bag, bro. Like, leave me alone. Like, if somebody wants to be like, yeah, that dude only got 2 cockroaches on his brain, just it don't matter. Get your bag. Sometimes people be fighting that shit. Like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna use what God's giving me. Use it. That shit fucking, they gave it to you for a reason. Anyways, guys, listen, we've been here hanging out. We broke this down. Hopefully some of you guys understood what we try to say with this, right? Because sometimes shit goes over people's head. People don't understand that it's a process. You got to go in and you got to have all this stuff. If you go in and you only have a certain amount of it, you're at a disadvantage. You know what I mean? Somebody said, audio se está entrecortando. I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on. But we here, man. We live. Like I said, I'm about to get out of here, guys. I really enjoyed this live stream. Definitely come in. Show some love. If you're watching me right now, make sure you give me a like. Show me some love. Just follow your boy, man. Okay? Follow your boy. You know. La Leche Claude is in the house. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, like I said, guys, definitely check out the links in the description. We have a lot of cool jobs being listed on codingphase.com. Come in, okay? It's very simple, right? Start with a career path, learn the courses, build the projects, build a portfolio, build a resume, apply it on the job board, get the job interviews. Congratulations, you're hired, okay? That's the way, okay? Very simple, very straightforward. Let us do the hard work for you, and let us just, guide you to success, okay? Very simple. Get started today, $1 a day, okay? $30 a month, okay? Literally, you paying what you will pay for going to McDonald's right now, okay? So, again, we're making it very simple, very easy for you guys. So definitely come in and show some love. Links in the description. I'll see you guys later. Peace.